English Town Hall. I think this is our third year doing this. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Kelsey Luby and I'm the new chair of the English Development Society. I wanted to start this evening by doing a land acknowledgement. We acknowledge that we are in Mi'kmaq, the ancestral and unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. This territory is covered by the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, first signed in 1752, so that should say 1752, and still recognized today. These treaties did not involve the surrender of land that was established by us or ongoing cooperation for mutual respect between nations. We are all treaty people. I'm going to pass it over to Jonah. He's going to kind of be our choreographer for tonight, and we're going to hear from, we have 14 presenters, so we're going to learn lots of things going on in the community this evening.
Okay, so first and foremost, thanks to everyone for showing up and showing out. We hope to share lots of positive things that are happening within the community, things that we're looking forward to for the next year and some to come in the future. First and foremost, I'm just going to introduce the IDS board members tonight. So first and foremost, we just had Kelsey introduce herself. She's the new chair and also treasurer for the IDS. Ryan Costello unfortunately cannot be here tonight, but he's the vice chair. Myself as the secretary. Paula Pache, a director, board member here. Ken Donovan as well. Adam Shore, there we go. David Lee also, all the way in the back there. Perfect. Martin, who cannot be here tonight. Josh McDonald and Brent Tucker as well. For all of our presenters tonight, I'm simply going to introduce you. If you'd like to come up, take the mic. There aren't going to be any questions during the presentations. We do have 14 presenters. We want to get through everyone in a timely fashion. But we do ask that all the presenters at the end stick around for a little bit so they can field any questions one-on-one from anyone who's interested. And without further ado, first and foremost, we have the Cabot Snowmobile Club.
Snowmobile Club. I know a little bit about it. Stanley will do a lot better than me. But I guess the main thing is we are forging ahead with getting the trail completed from the McMillan Dam into the top of Smoky, and then into the top of Ski Cape Smoky. So we were able to get a lot of financing this year. I don't know the exact amounts. I can take a guess at it, but I'll leave that because we'll be announcing soon on the actual funding. But we've already started work with the municipality and the province have been great supporters of this project. And if you were to go up there today, you would see that the excavators are in there actually making the roads. Stanley did show me some pictures today, and they're making great progress. And I mean, when you look at this road, it's actually in better shape than the Cabot Trail. I've driven a car on this before going the Cabot Trail. So, but it's going to really open things up for us. It's going to bring tourism into Ingonish, and for the local areas to be able to give us an area to actually access the islands. This trail's been open for 2 years, I believe now. Probably 2 years we've been in there. It's been quite rough where it hasn't been made for all vehicle access. Right now it's only being used in the winter for ski-doos. But when they complete this, it'll be for bicycles, ATVs, walking, cross-country skiing, and it's an amazing trail. I mean, some of the areas that it goes through, especially on top of going out towards Ski Cape Smoky, are in the hardwoods, and I've had the opportunity to go on a snowmobile a couple of times on it, and the views are outstanding, and the hardwoods are just amazing. So basically that's all I can say on it. Money we are receiving will help pay for the necessary bridges for this water crossing. There's a number of crossings. Right now we have temporary bridges in, but some of these bridges are like $100,000, so a lot of money is going to be spent up there on these trails. This is Barry Doyle's cabin, which is just in from McMillan Dam, I believe is where it's at. And I think that's going to be moved into what's called the Clouds Point, which is this one here is right on the top of Cape Smoky. This is what the road has looked like when you see the culverts. This was just taken the other day. This is the Clouds Lookout, is what it's called. And that's a big area. I think you're probably going to see Barry Doyle's cabin, Barely Built it's called. The cabin we just seen a second ago, I think it's going to be moved to this location. But again, the scenery from there is just phenomenal. Just phenomenal. I know at times there's probably been over 100 ski-doos at one time on top of the Ski Cape Smoky. But a number of days you go up there, there's people from all over the province, outside of the province, even from Maine, that have been coming up here. So it's going to be a big tourism boost, especially for the winter activities. And do we have anything else? That's great. Thank you very much.
So I think that Larry set the bar really high for someone who is unprepared here. So the pressure's on for everyone else now. Next up we have Paula. I'm not going to attempt that last name, I apologize. And Katie Fitzgerald coming up to present on behalf of the North Highlands Nordic.
Okay. So this past year, we had a really good season. We were very excited that we ended up getting a new groomer, Piston Bully, and which was in behalf of Larry, which is up there. He really pushed for us this past year, which was amazing, and from ACOA and also the province. They all pitched in $124,000, and machinery was like $450,000. So we were very lucky. We really needed it, for sure. But as you say, we have a new the trail systems here. This year, we had a lot of people from all over the world come over and visit our trails, which was very exciting. And we also started a partnership with the grade 7 classes and to grade 12. We had the NDA Chevy Camp schools come over, which are really enjoying it. For this past 2 years, they started coming over because they don't get much snow over there as much as we do. And so then we had the Girl Guides come over, and they really enjoyed that too. So we have 3,000 skiers, like it says, users from 2025 around the whole province. And the open house, which that day we always have like a free day that everyone can come and try out and see our trail systems. And then now this past year we started the cafe, Nordic Cafe. We started serving breakfast every Saturday, which turned out to be very, very good in the community also, along with the tours and other people that come. They seem to really enjoy it. And we have our weekly youth jackrabbits and bunnies. This year we had a really good season with them. We have Linda Murray, which is here tonight. She would give a races every Saturday so that we give them the feeling of competition. And these are part of our trails here, as you can see. And we have like the ski getaway packages. We try to accommodate with all the B&Bs and whoever wants to join to give packages to their customers. And then we have the library also come. This last couple of years they come and they set up, and that's the way that the community can come together and come and use that facility. And here we have this year, we have Celine Dion and Morris Curtis, who started pop-ups, which people come in, as you can see there, the young ones taking the pop-ups in there, which they enjoy. And we always have like our fire going out there for the kids. They love coming after skiing. They come in and they would have some marshmallows. And then March break, we had discount rates and free activities all week for all ages. We have scavenger hunts, obstacle courses, costume day, bonfire on the trail, guided social, skis, moonlight, fire pit, Nordic Cafe open lunch, annual International Women's Day, and weekly community events. Tea and ski is really popular over where we are. That even people from English come, and even in Sydney they come down to enjoy. It's all ages, and they come. We get together. It's half price day for people that are not members. And we have to bring a potluck, or you bring your own lunch, and we just enjoy it. And I think a lot of that has to do with the spirit of it all, and for your mind and your body, it's good either way. So win-win situation. Okay. And snowshoes, that's really popular this past year. As you can see, they love laying in the snow, taking pictures of the stars and the moon. And the little kids, and this is one of our ski lockers here. I'm just trying to see how many we had this year. It was a really good turnout for sure. And we also have workshops that we have, and they come from all over, from Newfoundland, New Brunswick, and Halifax to do these workshops. And they have it for the whole weekend, and that helps other people, like the Highland Hostel gets people to stay with them. And then we put the suppers on for them, like it's almost like a package deal, and it makes a really good atmosphere of everyone. They really enjoy being at North Highland Nordic. We've had this building since started in 2020, and this year we finally got everything kind of calmed down, and now we're learning we might have to expand in the back end, because the new groomer is apparently too big for the, bigger than the other groomer, so now we need to extend it a bit more. So we're looking in the future to doing that. And so we have, this is our kitchen, Our Saturdays, every Saturday, we love having fun. We also have a special birdhouse for one of our members, the longtime members that did snowshoeing that had passed away. We try to do special things to make people know in our community that we think about them all the time. And then we do have pub nights, which is really good, a really good fundraiser too at that. And then karaoke night, we had line dancing with the workshops, and then we had spring nature walks with the CBRN, and Chris Woodford from the county, and the pop-up and hop cycle from Churro came down, and that's a really good thing for a lot of the locals that need new equipment or need new booths, or anyone around that even from Sydney. And they give you a good discount too. And then this past year we were supposed to host the provincial champions, but because of the weather, we were not able to do that. But it's going to be next year now, so we're looking forward to having that. And then the training camp in Nova Scotia, who was ran by Daniel Murray, has his team come down and always practice down our way too, so which is really exciting for the young ones. You'll come on a Saturday when the young jackrabbits and the bunnies are there, and then they're watching the team, the ski team, and they're so inspired by them. It's just like their day up. And then now we're asked to, hopefully this happens, the vendor for 2028 Special Olympics cross-country ski and snowshoe competitions. So we haven't confirmed it yet, but they came and asked us to be a vendor for them in that coming year if they get the trade. And then, like I said, we'll be expanding to have more special races. We are includes the space of all ages, abilities, and plan to expand. Like I said, events hosted in North Central to bring more to our community. And here's just some fun pictures that we have of all the groups that come, and I always love to. And we have Michelle Richards from the Burdett come, and she would do ski lessons for free for people that want to come and that have never skied or want to learn to ski. She'll help and show them how to do it. And this is March break, and we have lots of fun with the bunnies, and that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you very much to Paula. Very nice to see so many people enjoying, and good luck to you guys. Hope you get to put that new groomer to work very soon. We're going to switch gears a little bit. We went from 2 winter activities to now a more warmer activity, and we're going to call Sue Tucker up here to present on behalf of Velocate Britain. And Sue Reeves, my apologies.
That's fun. I'm going to be kind of low tech. I don't really have any photographs to show you, but I can talk about Velo for you, Velocate Breton. I just want to read you a little mission statement, not very long, so it's not too boring. Velocate Breton promotes the use of bicycles as a safe and enjoyable mode of transportation and recreation. This is accomplished through advocacy, education, and rides that are geared to all levels of experience. So our board, my name is Sue Reeves. I know quite a lot of you in the room, and we have a house up here in Ingonish. I'm a member of Velocate Breton, and I'm a member of the board as a member at large. I took on the role of a member at large because I really felt passionate about expanding Velo services north of Smoky and along the North Shore. It's right now mainly due to population and membership. A lot of the activities are centered around CBRN, but in the past they've had activities also in Shedikan and down in Badek and Mabu. So I figured it's high time we got over Smoky. So, but I'll tell you a little bit about what they do. I really should talk really about the advocacy to begin with, because that's how Velocate Breton started. They started 21 years ago, and it was when Kings Road was being redeveloped in CBRN. And a group of people got together to push for proper bike lanes and bike access for Kings Road. They weren't successful. But what happened was they came together then as a club And they developed an organization that is still advocates for active transportation in CBRM. It's very much a community-based club. So it's a great vehicle, I think, for North of Smoky to join on to Velo and to look at the levels of advocacy that they've done for active transportation in this area. So, you know, things like better bike lanes, things like better cell phone coverage, so that when you're out riding, you can actually contact somebody if you get into trouble. Things like just better roads in general and maintenance. So what happens with Velo is they have lots of different events. One of them starts with the Myra Boat Club barbecue, and they do an organized ride around through Marion Bridge and across the other side of the Myra, and then back to the boat club again. And it's a really fun, really fun event. Then through the summer and into the fall, they have organized rides, and Brent Tucker, who is my other half of it, I guess, but not really. He's organized a road ride. So if you went on to velocapebreton.ca, you would see when these rides are coming up. Now, you can become a member of Velo for $10 a year. That's what the membership costs. And so those rides for you would be free. You would just join up, and people like Brent volunteer to be leaders and to take you on a route. And it's meant to be for a variety of cyclists. So if you're an e-cyclist, on an e-assist bike, that's fine. If you are just a beginner, that's fine too. You can look to the ride information to find out, because there's one that's going on, for instance, on what's it called, Yankee Line, starts at Breton Brewery, not Breton Brewery, Big Spruce, and it's a 40K ride. So you might look at that and go, oh, I'm not really up for that. But there are lots of other ones that are going on. And because it's volunteer-based, you could be a person who is a cyclist here tonight and say, well, hey, I could join them for $10, and I wouldn't mind leading a ride that, takes in coffee at the Periwinkle, or turn it into a social event, which is really what the Velo rides are all about. One of the things they also do is they do a lot of education. So they have, in the CBRM area, they have hop-on, hop-off events, which basically encourages kids to come along and learn how, the rules of the road and safety in cycling. And they have one coming up, let's see if I can find my notes, that is hop-on, hop-off, and the kids' rodeo, which is really, they do it in Open Earth Park. So it's all a very flat, easy area for these kids to learn the basics of cycling. So they also have one called Women on Wheels, so called WOW. And what WOW is all about, it's about people who identify as female getting together and in a safe environment, learning all about cycling, promoting women in cycling more, and that's really what it is. They used to have them all over Cape Breton, but for some reason it's now still centered around CBRM. So it's another event that actually could come up north of Smoky if somebody was interested in taking that on board, and I could connect you to our ride captain to find out if that can be done this year or next year. Velo is also going to be introducing short track racing for kids as well, and that'll be coming near the end of the year. You can find out information of where that is. So if you have a kid who's interested in short track, you might have to travel to do it to begin with, but this, once again, it doesn't mean that it couldn't expand into an event in this area. And I'm looking over at Adam Shore going, yeah, Adam, let's take that on board, and get something like that going here. One of the other things that we're really advocating is mountain biking as well. So Velo is also involved in the Cycling Nova Scotia's Cape Breton Mountain Bike Trail Development Committee. How about that for a handle? But, and they're looking to partner with people like the snowmobile associations in developing the active transportation summer side of the trail, looking at trail development, and Adam Shore did an amazing presentation a couple weeks ago with Victoria County about the possibilities of mountain trail development in the area, and as a very important part, I think, of ecotourism development in this area. So we're going to be doing, hopefully, a couple of rides up to Marion Falls and back down just to start with, and hoping to partner a little bit more with the park to find out what other trails that we might be able to use that are currently available through the park system. But Marion Falls is definitely one, and so it'll be a relatively easy ride for people who are mountain bikers. But you know, you can go up, have a picnic at the top, maybe a swim in the falls, and come back down. It's going to be mid-July sometime, and once again, that's going to be posted on the Velo website if you're interested. So, if you'd like to join Velo and become part of this group, once again, it's only $10. It's pretty cheap for a year, and so you can go on to velocapebreton.ca website and you can join. And but this doesn't preclude you going on that website and seeing what events are going on if you just want to come along and do a test. I went to one recently, and what it was e-assist biking. So off we went to Dominion, and we got on the Coal Town Trail, and the cycling shop in Sydney provided all of the bikes, and off we went, and we had a chance to test out e-assist mountain bikes, which were a revelation for me. So finally I can keep up with my husband if I get one of these. He's not going to be 5 kilometers ahead of me, and it was really fun. And you didn't have to be a member of Velo to find that on the website and just pop along and try one of these e-assist bikes. So I just wanted to give you a little outline, and that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Next up to talk on behalf of Victoria County.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you everyone for turning out. We had a series of engagement sessions around the county in the last couple of months, and I would have loved to have seen this turn out at some of our sessions, but we'll cover the same topics here as well. I guess, community development has been a phrase we've added to the department a little bit lately. In January, we hired Yvette Rogers as our community development officer, so I hit the wrong button already. There we go. Quick introduction of the 3 members of our department. We have Chris Woodford, who many of you have known through Recreation and Active Living. Colleen Whalen-Smith's with us tonight for Tourism Department, and Yvette Rogers, as we mentioned, just hired for Community Development. You may recognize Yvette from time with Celtic Colours. She used to be the community coordinator with Celtic Colours and the community events coordinator, so a great asset for us in that department. There's their names. For the department overview, our department is very focused on community-led initiatives in the grand scheme of things. So our goal is to facilitate and support. Facilitate really involves a number of different aspects. Most of what we work on and most of what we try to focus on are strategic initiatives of council. So with our councillors, they meet regularly to talk about different areas of focus. We have a strategic priorities list, and we focus on trying to support those initiatives that align well with the strategic priorities of council. Facilitation is really around the alignment of programs with those strategies, high-level assessment of assets and best practices that are used within the industry and other destinations and locations, sharing of those resources so community has those assets and have the opportunity to develop within those strategic priorities, and then working with organizations to help them facilitate growth, and we'll show some examples of that in a couple of other slides. For the support side of things, it's really about assessing those community assets and goals and what community needs and what they need in order to move forward with the goals that they determine within their own communities. We do do a lot of assistance with finding and supporting organizations that are applying for either provincial or federal funding for different community-led initiatives, and then gathering community information for sharing and then giving that feedback back so that next application or next program can be enhanced or improved as we go forward. If you are interested in municipal strategic priorities, they are available on the website as well. For community development, to give a little breakdown on each department or each section of our department, within the community development role that Yvette will be working on, many people will be familiar with what was formerly known as Cops Cove and now Freshwater Lake or Freshwater Cove. and probably a naming process to go on in the future, but that site is an example of a placemaking project that we've undertaken. Placemaking is really about assessing community assets, what spaces are being underutilized in community, and how do we activate those spaces to become more in line with what the community wants to see happen. So at Cops Cove or Freshwater Cove, we had a barbecue. Bursty was actually on the barbecue, I think, at that time, and invited a number of community members out to share what they thought could happen and what spaces within the community they felt could be enhanced. And that led to what we see happening today, which is very much not the county's lead, but very much IDS and some partners leading on that in partnership with Parks Canada, and a great example of collaboration between Parks and the IDS board in order to create a license of occupation for that space. The IDEA plan, which is the Inclusion, Diversity, Equity, and Accessibility Plan, Yvette Rogers has just completed that plan. It is available on the website. There's also a standing committee. If there's anybody that is first-person experience with those areas, they're welcome to join that committee as well and provide input through that. Community Development Support Program is in the works, but that's working with community groups that are trying to find ways to either self-govern or have governance training or ways that they can improve their own organizations to get better and more active and to meet the goals that they set for themselves. So IDS is another prime example of that. We did a governance training program with them that has seen a real strong resurgence in the group and a focus on their goals and directives going forward. Trails development programs, we heard a little from Larry on the Cabot Snowmobile Club. That's a project that we've been helping to support. But we are working, we have established there's a 73-kilometer network of trails that we're working to connect the Highlands Trail systems with the communities of Ingonish, Bedeck, Wreck Cove, St. Anne's, and North River. So that we're working to connect the trails to the Highlands Trail systems, and the Cabot Club and Mary Barker Trail has been a huge piece of that puzzle, and they've taken on the lion's share of that. And I think that funding number was $245,000, I believe, from the province just recently to the Cabot Snowmobile Club to take a big chunk out of that. We helped support it for a phase last year, and the province jumped in this year with a big chunk on that as well. We also have, for groups that aren't members of snowmobile clubs or ATV clubs, and if you're looking at having a trail developed somewhere in your community, we do have a trails development support program that allows groups to apply up to $10,000 for a new trail build, or up to $3,000 for support and maintenance or upgrading an existing trail. And then we also have some marketing and mapping support for up to $2,500 that can be applied for through a community grant program, similar to the community grants program, but through a trails program. Volunteer awards, we most recently just saw that take place, but every year we will be seeking volunteers in the communities and seeking to reward them in some capacity, or council decides on the applications that come in, and they go through those applications and score them without knowing who their names are. They score them on the merits of what the application submitted. And then the community gardens program will be another big one that Yvette's working on, which is kind of working to facilitate and support communities that want to enhance food sustainability in their communities. We're seeing one happen in Dingwall area right now. They're building one. North Waves Development Society are working on one at 310 Dingwall Road currently, and there will be some at the, I think there's a pilot project going on with two of the elderly homes or seniors homes that we're working with as well to have some food there. On the tourism side, we have a number of different programs that have been running for years with some tweaks and adjustments as we go. Regional area branding and digital support. We've done a lot of that with the Ingonish website. Experienceingonish.ca was a piece of that project in the past. There's some signage issues, some signage programs that will help brand a specific destination, and we work within those capacities and groups to kind of enhance what a region looks like and how they can develop a brand for their area. So this is based on a regional area, which would be Ingonish area or St. Anne's area. The Experience Development Support Program is more in line with working with organizations like North Islands Community Museum would be one, or not-for-profit groups that want to provide an experience that's applicable and is suitable for tourists to come and take part in. And we would help walk them through a program as to how to find funding and how to enhance your tourism experience to meet the market that's coming here to take part in that. Tourism training support is, I think there was a gentleman in this community, actually Charles Blinkhorn, a few years ago, who had approached us when he was looking to take groups of people into the wilderness and do wilderness Wilderness Tours. But the challenge became he could do a group up to 10, but anyone over 10, he needed more people that were trained in wilderness first aid. So we ran a course through North River Kayak Tours and had one member from every district within the county be able to take this course for free so that we could enhance the number of people available to somebody like Charles who needed to hire them to go into the wilderness and that sort of thing. So that's an example of a tourism training support program. If there's a gap in the community that we can help give some training to and enhance the overall ability for the community to develop a program that suits the tourist visitation, then we're here to help support that as well. Ingonish Step, I think hopefully everybody in this room is at least a little bit knowledgeable at Ingonish Step, but that's the Sustainable Tourism Expansion Plan. It is something that's gone on for the past 12 months. We've had a little bit of a hiatus because there's an awful lot happening in Ingonish these days. But there is 8 key recommendations that have come from that plan that we are working through, and we'll be continuing to evolve that as we go forward and expand on some of those tourism pieces. There's a lot of community development aspects that are happening at the same time, so that we're making sure that they align very closely as that moves forward. I will say in the STEP program, we heard very clearly that I guess the key theme that came out of it was preserve our place. It's really about acknowledging our space and preserving the place as we know it, but also welcoming and enhancing the opportunities that are here. Cabot Trail 100, I'll make a quick mention of. 2032 is the 100th anniversary of the Cabot Trail. It was Sidney Burke in 1924 who put the first motion in front of council that stated that it could be, when they requested to complete the road that became the Cabot Trail from Pleasant Bay through to Big Inch Trail, they talked about how it could become the most popular drive in Eastern Canada. It would increase the property values on everybody around the route of their travels, and it would also give an opportunity for visitors to spend money as they traveled through Cape Breton. So this is in 1924 that Sidney Burke had acknowledged this, and the foresight that he had shown at that time was phenomenal. Larry Duffy back in 2022 in August had read a similar motion calling on the provincial and federal governments to band together to create a legacy project to celebrate the 100th anniversary, and we're 3 years in and 7 years to go with an advisory group. So you will see a video coming out within the next week or two and asking for community engagement and asking for community feedback as to what that celebration will look like. But there is a lot of background work happening now to lobby government for better roads, better cell service, and then how we basically present the Cabot Trail as the best destination that we can have. And then the last one's Sustainable Tourism Expansion Grant. Through the Cape Breton Partnership, we've been able to, one of the challenges of municipality and tourism, we can't give grants to individual businesses, but we can work with third parties, and we've worked with the partnership to provide $50,000 in grants that will be available to individual businesses that can apply through the partnership that can expand their tourism offering. It can't be anything that's happening in July and August. Something we took out of the STEP program is that there's sometimes a year we don't need more tourists. But there are times a year where we can extend that footprint and have a lot more benefit to the community. So we are offering programs outside of July and August that allow people to stay open later or add a program to their current portfolio that allows them to do a little more. So, last one, recreation and active living. I'm sorry Chris isn't here. He loves this slide and he could talk forever on this one. You're probably happy he's not. But what Chris offers is a multitude of well-rounded and integrated programs. So multi-activity programs are basically, you can go to a site, he would execute somebody in there to teach you, for example, 3 different card games, Tarvish, Euchre, and I forget the other one he's offering, Crib. That's right, he actually has beautiful new crib boards made in the shape of Victoria County, made by a Victoria County resident as well. So he'll bring them out and basically a team could learn how to play these. The recreation activities program are more focused on, once you learn how to do something for the first time, then it gives you an opportunity to join a group that's already doing that activity so you can enhance your skills and grow those skills. And then the funding programs help those groups that want to execute and deliver a program. Percy's actually one of them, I think, that works quite closely on some of those programs as well. We also have an equipment loan program where if you have a group that wants to have equipment available to the community and are willing to put the work in and make yourself available to loan that equipment out, then we have a process where we can help supply funding. You can buy the equipment that you need and that the community wants to have, and then loan that equipment out. And that can also be transitioned over years. So if you get a set of pickleball gear and in 2 years' time nobody in the community wants to play pickleball, but people in Iona do, we may be able to swap that out and bring in new equipment and so on and so forth. And then Community Champions is the last one, and I think Percy's a great example of that. Having somebody in the community that delivers programs, delivers active living aspects, and that can enhance your life through their participation in it. So we seek out those champions, try to give them the supports they need to be able to deliver these programs to the community. And that's it for me.
Percy, you're a Musgrave. And Judith with bow, please.
Anyways, Percy Rasmussen because he couldn't pronounce my last name.
And I'm Judy McLeod. Everybody can pronounce my last name. And so yes, we work with the Smoky Recreation Society, otherwise known as the English Outdoor Rink. Got together. We've realized how much stuff we actually had done over the winter and in the last year or so. So we had volunteers to raise funds for improvements on our rink through like block draws. We attended activities over the last year and set up kind of, sometimes we do a barbecue, sometimes we sell tickets, those kinds of things. And Percy will be my quicker. Yeah, we attended barbecued at the Hucklebuckle Festival, which was really fun. And it's always great to see everybody out in the community, and it's great to have everybody be able to come and fill their bellies with a nice juicy hot dog. It's great.
And we would have done a lot more besides what we've done during that barbecue. Only our renovations have been done over our rink since the last probably 3 years, so it kind of slowed our process down. Of course, COVID was a big factor in that for slowing down, so hopefully now we're starting to build back up, that we're going to actually do a lot more programs over the winter. And the summertime is usually our break time because people can get out and actually do activities. But in the winter time is our big game planner, so we can get the seniors out doing stuff, we can get young kids get out and do stuff, especially when there's snowstorms and stuff like that. So that's our whole goal about Smoky Recreation Society.
And so over this winter, we had really good success with, we had musical jams every Sunday afternoon at the rink building. It was a wonderful time. And so it was an invitation to musicians, local musicians, anybody who wanted to come and jam together, and then anybody who wanted to come and listen. So there were listeners and there were players, there were singers and all different kinds of instruments, and all of these. And people were very generous to help with supplying. The county supplied a little bit of money so we could provide refreshments, and people baked goods and brought things, and it was a really fun time, and everybody really enjoyed it. So that happened every Sunday afternoon. We're hoping to continue with that next winter. I think that'll be...
Yeah, so if you play an instrument, come out and play it, because it's a great time.
Okay. So yeah, and the other thing that we did over the winter was we started a seniors fitness program, and this was really well attended by quite a group of mostly ladies, but sometimes we had a gentleman or two join us. And it was run 3 days a week, where it was an exercise program that lasts about an hour or so, focusing on strength and stretching and flexibility and a little bit of cardio, listening and done to a nice music of our age group.
And actually, and Judy is actually the one that's doing the senior class. I've done it for the first 7 years. Then I kind of backed away, and Judy took over, and thank God she did, because she's a hell of an instructor and she does a great job doing that. So if you find that you need something to do over the winter time, you need some activities to do, it's worthwhile coming out and actually doing it. And it's fairly cheap. It's only $3 a class, and all of our money, we don't get paid, her and I doing our classes, all goes back to the Recreation Society.
And then Percy does the other one where he does an all ages, kind of a circuit training program.
Yeah, and we have a great turnout with that. Like I get sometimes 20, sometimes 15, 20. So it's a worthwhile coming out if you want to do active. You can work out as easy as you want or as hard as you want. So come out and enjoy yourself when you're doing that too. Because I enjoy myself when I do it. So.
And we did a couple of times we tried to get some dances for the kids going. Over the winter, sometimes we have a little bit of trouble with the weather. So if it's inclement weather, we're not gonna be able to get kids out. We don't want people to come out and put themselves at risk. But we did a March break one, and it was really fun. The kids really enjoyed it, the ones that arrived. And yeah, so that was, we hope to do more of that
Absolutely.
next winter.
So like I said, our rink's in the process of being renovated, so we're getting rid of the oil, we're going with a little greener, so we're going with heat pumps and some electrical heat, so hopefully we'll have that up and running by September, so.
And we also hosted a holiday cheer and community market around the holidays, and we're gonna have people, vendors in the community could come and sell their wares, and it was kind of like baked goods and Christmas crafts and a yard sale type of items, so that was a really successful event, and we also had live music during that and refreshments. And so it was,
And I'll put a shout out for the CWL too, that they have their big sale usually on the first week of December, so it's all corresponding with that whole thing, so.
We also rent out the space for private events. So if somebody wants to have a child's birthday party or a grown-up's birthday party, it's a nice big area where you can have a party or whatever. And there's also a kitchen available. So we rent that space out at a reasonable cost. And when the ice was favorable, we had a few hockey games, which were well attended. And people come from lots of places, like from Sydney and
Place Bay
and those places, to come down and play hockey. And we have a really nice size rink. It's an NHL size rink, so it was really good for hockey.
And this year we had about 2 months of ice surface, so that was really good for this year. Last year we only had about a month because of the weather, so it's all winterized. It's all generated by how cold the weather is.
Yeah. And so in the summer we have access to our basketball court. We have a beautiful basketball court, and it seems to be being used quite a bit.
Yep.
The young kids are there till like
10 o'clock at night.
And they play basketball.
And we want to thank Mary Barker's Foundation. She'd actually donated the court and the basketball hoops, so that was well done, well received by the community. We do have one single pickleball court there too, so if you decide you want to come up with less wind, because you got the boards around you, so there's a little less wind that you're playing when you're playing pickleball too. So.
So we're planning for the future. We're going to grow our fitness program a little bit. I think Percy's going to start a beginner class.
Yeah, so what that's all about is when you come out, if you're scared to come out working out during my classes, or you think you're too young to go to Judy's class, then I'm going to start a beginner just to get you up and start doing some little cardio, a little strength training, a little coordination, a little flexibility and stuff like that. So I'll probably start that up in September. So just listen for the notifications, and we'll be starting that up.
Yeah, just watch our Facebook page. That's where we post everything that's going on. And so we're also going to have, I think Chris Woodford from the county is going to come and do some lessons for us.
Yes, I got to meet with Chris on June 26th, and we're going to discuss a few things. One thing is lessons on the pickleball, and of course we're going to try to do with golf frisbee. Nighttime, and whether you got 4 things in the basket, then it's going to be nighttime. It's going to be all lit up, so it's going to be interesting to see how that's going to work out. So there may be more activities. Just got a meeting with Chris Woodford on 26th, and we'll find out if there's going to be more.
And again, that'll be posted on our Facebook page.
And Dan mentioned about community with, we have one kayak that we can loan out, and we have one paddleboard. So if really it's for the community, it's not for tourists, it's for people that can't afford things for my rec center. If they're having a hard time and they want to try out this there, we'll actually rent that out for $25 a week for a kayak. It's a 2-man kayak and it's one single board. So if you want to come out and just try it out and bring it back, that's what we're trying to do. We're just trying to do it for local people. So. And
they're inflatable, so you can put them in your car. You don't need a truck or anything to get them there.
So we recommend not carrying a knife with you.
And so this is a really exciting thing that's up and coming. So we received some funding through the county to start to develop our seniors, it's from our seniors exercise program, so we're going to further develop that to provide more information kind of thing, get-togethers, connecting with other seniors groups through technology, So we have received some grant money to get those kinds of things going. And we're also going to be collaborating with the Island Food Network so we can offer luncheons and different kinds of activities around food, maybe community kitchen type of activities, those kinds of things. We'll be asking, and those will go, that's not just for seniors, that's for everybody. So we're hoping to get that up and running in the fall.
Yeah, so his main goal is to get people, when you're seniors, if you're home alone and you're trying to, if they're home stuck home, they want to get out and come out and to meet other people, they can actually cook 2 or 3 meals and take it back home to their own house, and they got 2 or 3 meals to put aside. So that's our goal in the fall. So.
And we also with the buildings being renovated so that there's a daycare going to be going in the upstairs portion of the building, and that's ongoing right now. They're in the process of renovating for that. And so we couldn't do this without our amazing volunteers, and we are a volunteer board there, and we're only a small little board. So if anybody's interested in joining, we are open to new membership. We take a break in the summer, so we won't have any meetings in the summer. But in September, I think it's around the end of September, we'll have a meeting. And if anybody's interested in coming and want to find out more about us and want to participate in helping us to move some of these projects forward, we would definitely be open to that.
And we just want to thank all the community for their support for the last probably 8 years since I've been here, or almost 10 years since I've been here. Oh my God, 10 years since I retired, and I'm back full time again. So yes, we were looking for volunteers, especially young generations that got some good ideas and they want to run the rec center, because we're getting a little older too. So we just want young kids to come in and give their have they actually want to see things run. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
Last year I stood here and somebody asked me if there'd be ever free entry again, and I said absolutely not. And here we are. Entry's free this year from June 20th until September 2nd. So anybody with a Discovery Pass will have it automatically extended for 3 months. You don't need a new sticker. Anybody with a season pass can request a partial refund or a full refund. If you want to keep it into the fall, you get a 49% refund. And free entry is applicable to everybody, not just Canadians. Camping is discounted 25% during that period. Anybody who already booked will get an email about how to get a refund. Just a couple of updates on things we have been going on in the park. Halfway Brook Bridge. We'll be paving the new road in the parking area this week, with line painting early next week. The new structure will be opened for use Wednesday or Thursday of next week. There'll be a very short 10-minute closure as the barricades are moved, and from the new road to close the old road. And then the demolition of the old bridge and the roadway will start with the full completion by mid-August. The Celtic Road will be hopefully paving in the next 2 weeks on the new in-road. And the expected completion of that is July 15th to 22nd. And the paving of the old and new intersections will definitely be a traffic disruption, so just be aware of that. Celtic Lodge. Parks Canada has been listening closely to residents and visitors and stakeholders, and we remain committed to keeping the public updated with the steps that are being taken to determine the future of the main lodge. What we heard report will be shared this summer based on that feedback. The main updates shared at the open house involved an options analysis, which is currently being conducted to assess the most feasible course of action for the main lodge. A full building condition assessment is being conducted as part of the option analysis through a contract with WSP. These will provide a plan to stabilize the building, to limit further deterioration, and address the most significant concerns. And at the same time, the Federal Heritage Review Office is reviewing the historical and cultural value of the building and its surroundings to define and document their heritage value. Parks Canada is awaiting the results of both the options analysis and the heritage review. Next steps have yet to be determined. These decisions will be made based on the analyses, feedback received from residents and stakeholders, and the cost involved with the implementation of any of these options. Thank you to those who have voiced their interest in ensuring this cherished destination continues to thrive and evolve for generations to come. Marianne Falls Trail is complete and ready for hikers. We expect that we have to put up some safety signage and fix a few drainage issues so that mountain bikes can safely use the trail, and we'll open it for biking later this summer. Franey trail work continues and is expected to be completed at the end of August. And when you go on Middlehead, Franey, and Marianne Falls trails, you'll see some new interpretive panels that are being installed in the coming weeks. So we're excited to share those stories with hikers and bikers. And I'm going to turn it over to Darcy. I went first because I can't follow him. He's much more exciting.
Thank you, Matt. Can everybody hear me just fine? Yeah? Excellent. I'm going to pass this off to you. Thank you. All right. Well, that was all the exciting news from Parks Canada. Thank you very much, Matt. I'm very excited to see this new interpretive panels that he was just talking about. The artistry on them is amazing. The new panels that will be out on Middlehead are fantastic in 3 languages. There's 21 panels, 7 different ones. Marianne Falls looks amazing. I hope you folks get to get out there and see it very soon when there's that get out there. But I'm here to talk to you about some exciting things happening here in Unish, which is our enhanced programming for this summer. So excited, so excited to get going with it. So this summer, we have a new program at Freshwater Lake. It's a paddling program. Bring your canoes, come join us, bring your kayaks, and come for a little tour. It's going to be fantastic. We also have a bat walk up Bronco Mountain, that one over there. You guys know. That's super cool. We have some technology up there that's listening for small brown bats. Very important to know about. Lantern walk through time. That's one that I do myself. If you guys got any ghost stories, come talk to me. I love ghost stories and folklore. And we're going to present some of that this summer on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. With a little lantern too. As well, we have Seeing in the Dark. Have you folks ever walked around Warren Lake at night? Guys, it's amazing. It's amazing. Come join us. It is absolutely fantastic. We also have Weaving Our Tales. It's going to happen over in Shetty Camp, where we're going to show folks how to do a little basket weaving, along with sharing some stories. Oh, cute little baskets. I don't know if we'll make these ones. Also, a really fun program that I get to do this summer is Stars on the Plateau. We're going to climb up Micah Hill, not all the way, just the good part, and we're going to view the stars. I'm going to share with you some Mi'kmaq legends and stories. It's a great time. Hope you can come. And then, of course, way over on the other side of our park is, of course, the Skyline Sunset. So you guys are welcome to join that as well. All right? Very beautiful. Now, just an FYI, these programs I just talked about are on our reservation system now. So you guys can go online and book the time to come hang with me. All right, if you guys want some information on that, you come see me after the meeting, rather than just staying here and telling you phone numbers. However, I just want to open this up. Program reviews can be here or available for local tourism operators. This is pretty exciting. So if you're a tourism operator here in the community, come chat with us and we'll set up a time for you to come join and see what we're all about. All right? So if you're interested in that, that's going to run between June 23rd and mid-July. So pretty soon. We're just getting things off the ground. Love to see you there. All right. This summer, we also have some exciting Mi'kmaq interpretive programming. A colleague and friend of mine is going to be presenting on the Shedicamp side. Lots of cool programs. His name is Grant Marshall. He's with the band Sons of Member 2. Fantastic musician, great stories, great speaker. Hope you get to see some of his programs this summer. As well as another great presenter is Mary Louise Bernard. She's fantastic. Perhaps you folks have attended her program, Grandmother Moon. It happens during the full moon 3 times in the summer, which the dates are going to be July 10th at Broad Cove, August 9th in Shedicamp Campground, September 6th here at Freshwater Lake. And it's beautiful. Oh, it's fantastic. All right. Along with other programming that's free for everybody is, of course, the Dories and Stories program that I provide with our committees, Arts and Culture, English Development Society. Guys, thank you so much for supporting what I do. I love building boats. I love sharing stories and chatting with people as they pass by. Look at Freshwater Cove and or Cops Cove for the production of that boat throughout the summer. And I'm going to be adding a lot of parts to it very soon. So I hope you get to join me. Of course, our, what should I say, Middle Head hike. You know, it's a little crowning jewel in the center of Ingonish. That's going to be provided daily at 10 a.m. Come hike with our staff. Get to learn some extra stories. Get to see those new interpretive panels. What else we got going on this summer? Of course, for the kiddies and whoever enjoys puppets, we're going to offer a puppet show down at Freshwater Lake. It's actually close to the playground area over where the beach is near the lake. Really cute. I really liked it. Who got their dancing moves? We're going to have the Square Set by the Sea, or Come Learn How to Square Dance. One of our colleagues, my good friend Hugh, is an excellent fiddle player. We're going to have live music, and you can come dance with me, or Kirsty, maybe Matt some days, and learn how to square set to an English jig. It's a great time. Of course, throughout the park, you're going to see staff like me on the sides of roads. Come ask us questions. Chat with us. Have a yarn. It's a great time. Where are we going here? Campgrounds. Perhaps you're going for a stroll in the campground in the evenings, or you have friends and family that are staying in the campgrounds. Come attend some of our programs. Of course, we got the Square Set by the Sea. We'll be dancing down at Broad Cove Beach if you want to join that. Along with like little campfires to share stories. We have little discover and explore programs in the campground. Come learn about different animal species. Stuff that's more specific. Slideshows at our theater over there in the Broad Cove Campground. And of course, beach walks. Some special events for this week, well, summer I should say, is National Indigenous Day celebrations, which are going to be happening in Shedicamp throughout the whole day. We're going to be doing lots of stuff. Hope you guys get to join us. Star parties. I really hope the Perseids Media Shower shows itself this summer and we start seeing those stars. But come hang out with us, learn about the stars. We have trail warming hikes. You guys, of course, know about the new hikes at Middlehead, Marion Falls, and Franny. So we're going to offer some special tours on that maybe later this summer. Dates to be announced, as well as a full array of Celtic Colors programming for this here coming fall. Of course, we're going to be there for Hucklebuckle Festival. That's always a great time. Come carve a pumpkin with us. And then, of course, enjoy it. But guys, thank you so much for your support in the community this summer and having me come up and present.
Thank you. I actually have a couple of other things too. And I'm sort of the other side of the sandwich, I guess. I'll probably be more like Matt than Darcy up here. I always say I'm jealous of Dan. Dan always gets to do the fun stuff that we do at Victoria Canada's Recreation and Tourism. I get more of the meat and potatoes stuff, so bear with me. Also, I just want to congratulate the board for putting this on. This is a really great thing, and I'm really impressed with all the things that are going on down here. So kudos to you for arranging this. So yeah, I'm going to give a couple of updates here. So I'm going to give an update on the Ingonish wastewater treatment and collection system. Some highlights from the past year on things that we've accomplished, and share some other things that we're working on next. the wastewater treatment plant and collection system update. The design is complete and the project is now in the environmental review and permitting phase. The county has completed consultation requirements with 2 surveys and 2 public meetings to hear from community members. The route for the collection system was based on input from the 2025 property owner survey that we sent out. Thanks to everyone that responded, and we've included the maybe responses there as well, which has helped us shape the plan for the proposed routes. We've submitted permit applications to Transport Canada, Fisheries and Oceans Canada, and Nova Scotia Environment and Climate Change. There is an underwater survey that is planned. It was originally mid-June. It's now going to be next week down here to support those approvals and help guide the next steps. And we've also completed 2 rounds, I said that, public surveys to help with moving the project forward. So this here is the property owner survey results. This gives you a visual. This is what we received back from yeses and nos. We took the 2024 survey that we did and the 2025, and you can see the difference in how the yeses have moved up, so we moved into some more yeses and some nays. This here will give you a visual of the area the system is designed to serve, shaped directly by the community feedback. The collection room is not 100% designed just yet. As we are working within our budget, we've received provincial funding for about $7.3 million of this project. So it is a big project, and we're going to get as far as we can with the funding that we've received, and within to get it to as many homes as we possibly can. Some other neat things that we have going on. First one is Engage Victoria County. So this is a new online platform. It's called engage.victoriacounty.com. Our goal with this is to make consultation accessible to everyone who wants to share their voice. And there's currently 4 projects that are open for community engagement there. That is not the slide that I have. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, so we've launched this to help keep people informed. The 4 that we have right now that are up there for comments from residents and from anyone who's interested in what we have going on. The wastewater project is one. The county's idea plan that Dan talked about before. Our budget process and our budget survey that we put out earlier in the year. And our new land use planning strategy are up there. The 5th one that we're talking about is collecting pictures from around the county, different places, neat places around the county, so we can share some of the hidden gems within this beautiful place. We know not everyone can make it to a public meeting, so this gives people a chance to participate on their own time. So we think it's please visit and sign up if you'd like to be involved. It's engage.victoriacounty.com. Some other county news that we have. So the 2024-2025 tax bills have been mailed out. If you do qualify, there is a low-income exemption available. If you meet eligibility requirements, you can contact municipal staff to apply or find more information on our website. We've also been working on a number of other community priorities this past year, most of which have been informed by our 2025 budget survey. Our community grants continue to support local events and projects. Council met this past week and approved the municipal grants for this year at Monday's municipal council meeting. There's one change to be made on it, but the projects will be announced thinking tomorrow after a special council session or Friday, somewhere. It'll be by the end of this week. So if you put your application in, please have a look. The information will be going out then. Over the past few years, we've been hearing loud and clear the need for public washroom access. There have been designated locations that have received municipal funding to comfort stations and public washrooms. We're continuing to look at ways to improve year-round washroom access in the county. So that's public washrooms. Through our senior safety social network, we're supporting wellness and connection for older adults. There's been a couple of programs I heard talked about here earlier for some of those that we offer. We find our seniors programs are well attended and take place on a regular basis. As we know, consistency and dependability is very important. Looking forward, so we're focused on responsible infrastructure, inclusive planning, and supporting growth that works for our communities. We've adopted the county's first full land use planning bylaw, which gives us consistency in how development happens around Victoria County. More information can be found on the land use bylaw, which is available on our website and on the Engage website. We also think with all the exciting things that are happening down here that it would make sense to have an Ingonish Area Advisory Committee, which is a little subgroup that would then report back up to the full Planning Advisory Committee. We're rolling out our idea plan, so our strategy for inclusion, diversity, equity, and accessibility. So the plan has been adopted, and we're now going to start taking steps on that. There's currently a survey available on both our municipal website and Engage Victoria County for residents to share their thoughts on how we can make the county more accessible for everyone. And we want to have everyone feel welcome and included in the future that we're building. That's all I have. Thank you very much.
The outskirts of Ingonish. So where we're at right now, we're very close to completing the first 27 homes that are in the top aspect of that. You can pretty much see them from here. If you're looking out, those are expected to be completed this year before winter for the ski season, so we can attract more skiers to the village. And then we've also started the second set, which is in purple there, which is another 25 homes. As we stated before, these are like rentals. They're not homes for living in. They are available for purchase if you want to have a business in them, but you can't move into it. You can move into it for a couple of weeks, but after that goes into the rental pool, making more accommodations available for people to come and stay. You can see here as the next phase will be in yellow and then finalized in blue when we move on. This is a little from the winter there, although we had snow really long this year, thanks to the new snowmaking equipment. So these are a little outdated, but you can see where the new homes are starting. They're more developed than that now. Just more showing the same. This is what it'll look like when they're finished. So pretty good rendering, almost looks real. A lot of people probably haven't seen this, but this is what the mock-ups are going to look like on the inside as they're finished. Moose Hotel we're expecting to start this fall, although it'll be more ground prep. This is an image here. The back half will actually be mostly buried, so there's only 2 floors. On the back you'll be able to see, but on the front you can see that there's actually 4 levels. This is a micro hotel. So I think it's 32, 34 units that will be coming in. So that will be one of the big things that we start this year is we break ground. I think a lot of people have seen this image before. It's actually changed a bit from this, but this was as we move and work with local architects to change the design, but just to give you an idea of the scope of what it'll look like as it comes to be finished. This is more newer renderings. I think this is the first place this has been shown. This will be within the village down there itself, showing these accommodations like hotels, sort of apartment style accommodations. Those are the big things for what's happening. We're doing a lot of work on the prep, building the infrastructure around, getting our water lines put in, getting sewer lines put in through, just bringing it all. But then on the operational side, we have a few things that are developing as well. So this summer we will have smoky sessions again. Cross-country mountain biking trails are now at the top of the hill. There is developments for further mountain bike trails to come over the years as we expand. But now you can go, even get an e-bike rental at the top and go on the trail to Ski Lodge Lake and back. We also have Frisbee Golf is now officially installed at the summit, as well as mini golf is also added to the summit. So a few more activities. I think the future plans to show will eventually have 60 plus activities. These are some of the small ones starting, and as we're able to develop the resort more, we'll get more of the larger activities. And if there are people that are looking to start businesses within the hill, even in the outdoor adventure aspect, just come talk to me and we can talk about how we can incorporate your business into the resort. We're also working on improvements to water drainage so that we'll be able to extend the season. There's some water drainage issues there. Some places that are getting a little soggy, so we're going to be working on that, and then focusing on maintenance and smaller scale projects that were previously deferred. So as we're trying to build the resort overall and all the infrastructure, this year we're working on some of the little things. Next year you're going to start to see a lot more bigger scale development come. And there could be the potential that we'll have to change our operating season based on that so that we can finally get the project to a point where it stops looking just like a construction site. And we are also now looking at, for winter, the first expansion of adding some a new lift. There's a bigger image here that shows the bigger plans, but this is what we're focusing on first. So here in the purples, where we're looking at adding more additional ski runs, another surface lift, it won't be a gondola, but just opening and making this a bigger resort, a bigger ski resort. The plans that we have, if they go like we're in planning, but if we're able to push them through over the next 4 or 5 years, we could easily become the biggest ski resort east of the Rockies. So we want to take on Mount Tremblant and become a bit bigger. And then of course this year we're going to start adding more snowmaking capabilities. So we had a really long extended season now this year, but we want to make sure that we're able to get even more snow, have more hills, and I believe it's going to be the snowmaking equipment will go on where the lift is right now. Just as we're here, there's a lot of operators in the room. This is a heat map that shows where people came from last summer. So you can often expect something a little similar coming this year, but people from all over the world are definitely coming to Ingonish. So where all of our sales go through online, we're able to actually see where their postal codes are. But big influx of people coming from England. A few other from around Europe, but all along the east coast of the U.S. and across Canada. So we expect to see that even rise more this year based on pre-sales that are already happening. So, and this is a little updated, but this is from wintertime last year. There's more pins that should be on there, but we have been attracting people to come ski here from British Columbia, which is huge because they've been having a lot of snow the last few years, but also the UK, and there's a tour group that came from the UK this year as well, because this is becoming a destination that people want to come to in the winter. They had people skiing, surfing, and paddleboarding all in the same day, and in a hot tub. We're also starting to get a lot of recognition across the globe. We are a small ski hill. But as you probably heard Martin say before, there's champagne powder here, which is 3 places in all of North America that have it. By no means should we have it close to the water because it's compressed snow. But we do, and people are taking notice and they're coming just for that snow. But with everything that's happening here, we're ending up in quite a few different magazines globally. You're looking at Destination Canada is starting to show they're going to have a coast-to-coast tourism strategy going, and they're putting Ingonish on that map as one of the top destinations in the East Coast. And yeah, that's really it. It's mostly Jose development this year. and infrastructure, but we have a lot of really great things coming. So, thank you.
We've had lots of changes at Celtic this summer. We will have this summer. Firstly, being our new GM.
Can you hold that microphone?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? So, firstly, we've got our new GM, which is Matt McKenzie. So he's come on board to lead us. So Matt worked out here about 12, 13 years ago, I think. So he's familiar with the property. He was here for a couple of seasons. He's back out to lead us again this year. Exciting things we've got going on this summer. So we are going back and doing a traditional Canada Day celebration. We're working with local operators in the community, and we will start the day by having a scavenger hunt. So people will visit lots of different places in the community. They'll then come here and do the raising of the flag. We'll have a fiddler, some tea and lemonade and cake, and then people will go to Cape Smoky and there'll be a Rising Star Music Festival over there, so lots of exciting things on Canada Day. We are also having our nightly entertainment continuing through the summer, so our local entertainment will be in the Ardwing Lounge. We're looking to do lots of different family activities through the summer. We're going to have some lawn games and some different things for the children to do. We will hope to go back to do different things like the trivia night and maybe some murder mystery evenings and different things for the community, kind of in the quieter times of the year rather than the busier seasons, busier months through the summer.
Great.
I also hate public speaking, so I do apologise. So I just think this year it will be a great year. Our head office is working again with Parks to kind of work on the plans to renovate the main lodge and kind of bring it back into the community. We will want that back in operation. But yeah, I think we're going to have a great season, lots of exciting things happening, and yeah, if anyone has any good ideas or suggestions for things for us to do, like I said, like trivia nights or different things, please feel free to let us know.
Hi everyone, can you hear me okay? Yep. Matthew McKenzie, I'm really excited to be here. I had the great privilege of running this resort from 2011 to into the 2014 season, at which point we were preparing for it to be sold, and I was able to move to, at the time, to the Algonquin Resort. And since that kind of transition, it really did spark a passion for me to run exceptional destination golf resorts. And at this point, I think I've run 5 of the top Canadian golf resorts in public play. So coming back here is a very much a passion drive. And this is not necessarily about me, but obviously I'm representing a very important part of the asset of this community. And I want you all to know that being here when I was left an amazing mark. And I think it leaves an amazing mark on anybody that works here or stays here or visits here. I mean, we don't need a slideshow. We just look out these windows to highlight what the specialness of this area is. When GolfWorks called me, they mentioned the fact that they wanted somebody that would come in with a vision that would complement the economic drivers that are in this community right now, which is insane. Like, look at this room. I mean, it's amazing what you all are doing. And so what I put forward to them was that, driving our craft forward from service to quality to consistency, welcoming travelers from all over, but delivering a very true maritime experience to them that they can take back, have an emotional connection, and bring back more and more travelers is what our goal is here. We have an amazing team. There's been a lot of a great investment in this property, but I definitely see opportunity to bring it all together with what I've honed in my skill over the last many years. And so again, I'm very appreciative to be given the opportunity to run the Celtic again and the Highlands and bring it back to the point where you're all very proud of it. So I don't have a lot more to say about that. I'm on day 3 of my return. I'm trying to fast track. I didn't intend to be here 4 weeks ago, so I'm trying my best to make sure that we deliver on all the promises this year and then continue to build up momentum and a pace to keep up with all the great initiatives that are already in this community. But I'm excited to be back. My family's excited to call this home part-time, full-time as we continue to go forward. So more than anything, thank you, Claire, for carrying the torch for the last 4 years here, and her whole family's here. So we're as invested as we possibly can be to make sure that you're all proud of this amazing place, including our parent company, Gulf North, who has invested strongly for the last 10 years. So thank you. I appreciate that.
Victoria North Regional Library relocation. In April 2024, Cape Breton Regional Library received news that the current library space would no longer be available as of April 30th, 2025. This began a one-year project of locating a new library building, making lease agreements, getting the space ready, and reopening. I'm Erin Phillips, Victoria County Library Supervisor for Cape Breton Regional Library, and in the next few minutes I'm going to describe how we got from here to here and give you a little tour of the new library space. After learning that our lease was ending, library staff discussed the matter with Victoria County Council, and shortly after that we met with the Ingonish Development Society. A few possible new locations were mentioned, including the fire hall, and we were pleased to see the library so highly valued by the community. The community support was even more apparent when we hosted a public meeting in the fire hall in September. 60 people came to listen and share ideas. Various locations for the library were suggested, again, including the fire hall itself. At this public meeting, we formed a steering committee. The committee, made up of community volunteers and library staff, met regularly throughout the fall. The fire hall was indeed identified as the ideal location, and with the department's interest in partnering, that location was proposed to Victoria County Council. In December, the county approved the fire department's lease proposal. Renovations began in February, including a new wall, tearing down a stage, new flooring, and painting. While the fire department was busy building walls, library staff were busy designing a floor plan, calculating the number of boxes needed to move 6,000 books, 143 was the final count, and contacting utility companies. We began packing boxes in mid-March and closed the library on March 21st. On March 25th, after a call out on Facebook, 13 volunteers, including children, moved all 143 boxes of books to the fire hall. Thank you. That was a huge job and such a big help to us. The next step was dismantling shelving and moving furniture. There were 5 people in the library moving crew. 3 of us drove from Sydney on March 26th to get ahead of the incoming snow. We weren't disappointed. On the 27th, after weather and mechanical delays, the rest of our crew from Sydney joined us, and we moved all the shelves and furniture out of the old space and into the new. A final staff member came up to help on March 28th, and we reassembled all the steel shelving. With shelves all around the perimeter and boxes piled high in the center of the room, we waited while renovations were completed. At the end of April, we were able to start unpacking, and it began to look like a library. Special thanks to Leona Stockley for volunteering to assist library staff in shelving all the books. And special thanks to the fire department and their hired crew for the renovation work. On May 6th, we reopened. Throughout the whole process, from our meetings with IDS last spring to planning the upcoming grand opening, we have received tremendous support from the community. The steering committee especially has worked tirelessly to make this new library a possibility. The new space is 100 square feet larger than our old space, for a total of 950 square feet, and we have access to the community meeting space, the kitchen, and the bathrooms in the other side of the hall. We also have put in a small children's play area. There are lots of possibilities for library programs and community partnerships in the new space. Let us know what you want to see here. Thanks to everyone, and we hope to see you at the grand opening Wednesday, July 9th at 6 p.m.
This is Liz and Gwen from Ty-Currum Daycare Society. We're sorry we couldn't be there in person today, but we wanted to be able to provide a quick update and let you know where we're at with our daycare projects in both Ingonish and Bay St. Lawrence. In Ingonish, we've had contractors on site the last number of weeks, installing heat pumps, upgrading electrical, redoing plumbing, and scoping the remainder of work required to update the existing infrastructure at the site. This work will continue throughout the summer. In Bay St. Lawrence, we're anticipating contractors to start on site in another 2 to 3 weeks. We are really thankful to all of our contractors and partners, specifically the North of Smoky Recreation Society and the Bay St. Lawrence Community Center, that have been really patient as we waited for approval from the province with the additional funding that was required to update the existing infrastructure at the sites. We're excited as the plans we've been working on are taking shape, and we are going to be able to confirm opening dates for our new sites soon. We have recently completed a new online application that can be completed via Google Forms. This has been recently shared on our Facebook page. We ask any families that are interested in care at any of our sites to complete this form. We'll be using these submissions as a tracking mechanism to identify demand and allow us to place children in the correct classrooms according to their age. We have left a spot within the form for folks to let us know if they've already reached out to have their children added to our list, and we'll be cross-referencing these new applications with old submissions where applicable. Once we have received your application, we'll reach out for any additional information for enrollment once we have confirmed availability of spots and opening dates. We have previously posted some positions online, and we have conducted interviews for both of our new expansion sites. If there is anyone who has not applied through these previous job postings and they're interested in working with us, please reach out to us via email at tycurumjobs@gmail.com. We will be posting one more additional round of positions, and that will be posted very soon. We do also have some currently accepted offers for ECEs who are looking to relocate to our communities. For this reason, if there's anyone who has or knows of available rentals in the area, please let us know, as we will be looking for housing for some of our new employees. Keep watching our Facebook page for updates as to when our new sites in Ingonish and Bay St. Lawrence will be opening, and we will be in touch with families who have submitted applications for childcare directly soon. Thank you to the Ingonish Development Society for the invite, and we hope that everybody has a great evening.
Development Society, just letting you know a few different initiatives that we have going on upcoming this year and things that we're actively working on, and also highlight some of the stuff from this past year. So we're going to go ahead and start with Ken Donovan, Richard Doucette, and Paula. If you guys want to come up and present on Freshwater Cove and the different initiatives you got going on there.
My name is Richard Doucette. I'm an architect and a part-time resident of Ingonish. I'd just like to mention to those that are, I see people in the room that are part-timers, hey, we need you to volunteer too and be part of the community. Some folks have been kind of working on this spot. This is Freshwater Lake. Is everybody familiar with the area? Or, there's Cops Cove. We like to, we wanted to use a working name. I call it a working name because the final name, Ken will talk about that a little bit, but for now, it's, we started looking at this, at least when I got involved. I know some other people worked on it before then. But we basically looked at the area and thought, this is a great day-use area. It's right in the heart of the village. What can we do with this area to enhance the area? It's always been a fantastic place for swimming down here at the cove here. And so it's gone through a few iterations. Formerly it was the Highland Bungalows and it was our CMP station. Those have both gone for many years now. Parks have used it for a short period of time for overflow parking. When we took a look at it, we thought, hey, this is a tremendous opportunity here to make a kind of a community common, if you kind of think of it that way. So if you want to talk about it a little more in detail, we'll be around at the end of the meeting. But basically, this is a master plan that we developed, and you'll see down here the Cabot Trail is running along the bottom, and up on the right side is Beach Crossing. So those are the open lawn areas that you can see from the Cabot Trail. And the trails that you see on the left, that's the old road through the bungalow area. And Parks Canada worked with us, and they were able to open up that trail this summer, so that's an opportunity for people to have a really beautiful walk through a beautiful little forest, and it's not too long, it's very accessible, it's very level, and it's very solid. It's very solid ground for walking on. We're also, with the help of the county, we're able to secure a washroom facility, which we hope to have in place by the end of July. It took a little while to get the infrastructure together and so on. And also, we are working this year on putting a shelter, building a shelter. And this is a community type shelter, a little larger than what you typically see throughout the park. Estimated size would be approximately 20 feet by 40 feet and would accommodate 20 to 30 and 40 people at times for community events, especially on rainy days. The other thing that we want to get together this year is you see down in the lower, this area right here, there's an existing, a really interesting tree there, and then we want to use that as a tree for tree lighting events, and Paula will speak about that a little bit. And there's been some events there in the past, and it's been really well received and very encouraging to see everything that's going on and happening in the community. Much more, way, a lot more than those that are my age that grew up in here. It's so exciting to see, and so great to see everybody jumping in and helping out and having a vision of what the community is going to be like. I'm going to pass it on now to Ken, and Ken's going to talk about some of the heritage aspects of what we'd like to see happening in the community.
Can you hear me okay? My name is Ken Donovan, and there's a lot of cultural stuff, a lot of activity going along right now in this community, and it's incredible. It really is. But this area has been settled for a long time, up to 12,000 years. So there's lots on pre-contact and settlement. And most of the archaeological work that it's based on comes from Ingonish Island. Quarry site out there, 86 square meters, excavated in 1975 and 1976. And there's a stone unique to Ingonish Island out there, rhyolite, a very tough, magnetic stone, slightly magnetic. And people can make, there are all 40 boxes of material taken out of there. Lithic sites and arrowheads, spear points, all kinds of tools that were used and made. And when they did work on it, Middlehead Trail last summer, they were finding all sorts of this rhyolite out there. And this rhyolite has been traded all around Atlantic Canada, and they know it comes from here, okay? Only from here. And it's been traded down into New England. So there's going to be lots of scholarly material appearing on this in the future. Okay, so we're going to have an interpretive panel up there that looks towards Ingonish Island on pre-contact and settlement. Okay. And so it's going to be dealing with the pre-contact period, the First Nations period. So we're going to be discussing that briefly. Okay. And this is some of the archaeological evidence that has come out of Ingonish Island. Okay. Contact refers to 500 years ago. That's when the Europeans started coming. That's when everybody in this room and their descendants came, okay? The earliest time. Next, please. So we want to focus on one particular family, Jack Doucette and Mary Helen Doucette. Mary Helen Lord Doucette. They owned Freshwater Lake Cove, and that's their house back there, and that's their car about 1932. Jack is inside the car, and Mary Helen is to his right. And Mary Helen happens to be Richard Doucette's grandmother and grandfather, okay? So distinctive Acadian presence, early in Ingonish, but their home is there. These two people were community and cultural leaders in Ingonish. Jack had, he's a World War I hero. He was forced to go to war, and in 1918 he was severely wounded. wounded, shot in the back, and had shrapnel wounds and gassed. And the gassing would eventually kill him. He was a member of the Highlanders, the 85th Highlanders, and so the two people really lead the community. They are cultural leaders and community leaders. When he gets released from the hospital in 1919, they know he's coming, and in English they all turn out to welcome him in Westlake. And Mary Helen went on to become a school teacher for pretty well all of her adult life in the community. So they own the cove, expropriated in 1936. They were not going to leave. They were eventually forced to leave in 1948. But their two sons fought overseas during the war when the expropriations were going on. So there's a lot behind the story. Okay? So that one panel is going to focus on pre-contact and settlement, another on Jack Doucette and Mary Helen. And next slide, please. And that's Mary Helen there looking out from their house across the road today. So Percy Rasmussen's place is way up on the hill there someplace. The other panel, the third panel, is going to focus on Leo Doucette and his family. And Leo is right here. His wife Ivy. And next slide, please. So this is their house there. So 3 panels, just a little bit of cultural background, okay?
Hi, Mama Patrick here. Should I talk without this? Can you hear me at the back without this? Yeah, good. That's my former teacher's voice. Former teacher voice. So, just a couple of things. I didn't realize when we say Freshwater Cove, and Darcy was talking about Freshwater Lake, and when he first started, I was like, I didn't know we were doing that. I never heard of that. And I realized, oh, there's a little bit of a connection there. Freshwater Lake is a different spot than Freshwater Cove. Freshwater Cove, as you know, is right in the village. Freshwater Lake is part of the beach there. The second thing I want to say is Percy did such a great job barbecuing there a few years ago. You know, he's welcome to do that again for one of our trips. I'm not looking at him to say the first event we're coming up with is June 28th. That's a week from Saturday. That's our grading day celebration. And I know that's not grading day, but in consulting with the principal, a lot of the kids are off that week to sailing camp. That's one issue. The second issue was it's on Monday, June 30th, and next day is Canada Day, and there's all kinds of Canada Day stuff. So we decided we would do it on June 28th at Freshwater Cove. We're going to have a barbecue. We're going to have some games. Chris Woodburn from the county is hopefully going to bring some games for us. I've talked to him. We'll have some treats. Marlene's baking 100 cookies for us for that day. We will have, there will probably be kids swimming. That's the only thing I'm a little concerned about because we cannot hire a lifeguard, so we're stressing that if kids are swimming, parents have to be responsible for looking after them and being down there. Because anybody who's been down there in the last year knows, since the park, thanks very much to the park, put in a beautiful dock, the kids are having a ball with it. They're loving it and jumping off it. We also purchased just this week a kayak launch and what do you call those boards? Paddleboard launch. So to make it easier for older folks like maybe me, who my grandson says, maybe Nanny, you could kayak if you remember how. So I might try it now, which we have a nice launch to get in and out of the kayak more easily. So we're doing that with the help of the park. The park's been great and the county's been great in what they've contributed to our building up of the whole thing over there. The whole Freshwater Cove idea. We're trying to make that a real community site with lots to do. The other big event I want to talk about is the Christmas tree lighting Anybody who was around here last year, we had a Christmas tree lighting there. It was spectacular. I heard several people comment that they felt like they were in a Hallmark movie. It was so nice. They had lights around it. There were all kinds of vendors selling food, selling jewelry, all those kinds of things. So we designated one specific gigantic tree there that Richard believes you're going to see from all over the place because it's so big. And we're going to use that for the tree lighting ceremony, and the lights will be on for the Christmas parade and other things. So those are our two main events. However, that doesn't mean that there can't be other events. If somebody in the community has something that they're interested in doing at that location, and once we get the bathroom in, it's going to be a fabulous location for any kind of activity. There's a portable stage that can be used. So all somebody would have to do would be approach a member of the committee or a member of the IDS and present your idea. We're more than willing to do as much as we can for the community and for the positive use of the Freshwater Cove area. So that being said, folks, what was it Richard said about volunteers? Anybody who's interested in helping out, Parade Day, next 11/2, next Saturday, a week from Saturday, pop on down and see some of the kids and help out, or anything else you want to help with on the committee. If somebody would like to serve in the committee who has ideas, let us know.
All right, I'm going to give just a quick overview of other projects that the IDS has been working on. It's going to be pretty high level, but again, if anyone has questions or wants to dive into any of the projects further, you can reach out to myself or anybody on the board for further information. The first one being the housing project. Late last year, we took on the housing project from Destination Cape Breton, and we've been working with the county to relocate it and make it bigger. So we're in the process right now of updating the architectural drawings to go from a 20-unit to a 30-unit building. We're navigating a very challenging funding process provincially and federally. Unfortunately, the funding that Destination Cape Breton had originally received for planning was expired, so we're going through the process again of reapplying for new funds for that process. So not as smooth as we would have hoped, but the goal for this year is to have plans and fundings in place for the year. The community center project, some of you may have heard of this. We've mentioned it at our AGM and a few other places last year. From the survey, we heard two major things from the community, that housing and a community center were key things that the community wanted to see in the area. So we've been talking with some stakeholders, the county being one of the key stakeholders in this, about a community center coming to Ingonish. And we're at the stage right now, we've been working on figuring out feasibility. We've come to a point where we feel like it is feasible for us to have a community center in the area for Victoria County, not just necessarily Ingonish. And we want to start engaging everybody in the community to come out and share what they would like to see in a community recreation center. So we're going to start that as early as next week, and I know that's a little bit late notice for some people. We want to capture people before July and August, and that won't be the only time we can provide feedback. The likelihood of us launching a survey so that we can capture more feedback for this specific initiative is very high. These sessions will happen at the Ingonish Fire Hall next week, and we will post this on social media as a reminder to get more info out. We have a group working on transportation, so they've been working on sourcing partners, Victoria County, the Celtic, local small businesses, and Cape Scorpio have been a part of it. We are on track to have a pilot for this in August this year to run a bus, basically from one end of town to the other, stopping at different locations. It will be for visitors and for the local community. I don't have any information on what it will cost or if it will be free. The idea is that the businesses will help subsidize this initiative because it will bring people to their location. STEP, so Dan spoke about STEP a little bit. Look for updates on the project on Victoria County's website. We also have a link to it on Experiencing Initiative website. The full report is also there for you guys to review, and we'll be posting updates about how we're moving that forward on the Facebook page throughout the year as well. This was launched last year, I believe, but I didn't know if very many people knew about it, so I wanted to talk about it tonight. Thanks to More Power Electric, Jason, we have a camera on the top of Cape Smoky, so you can now check out the camera before you leave and confirm that the weather's not too untravelable at the top of Cape Smoky. Obviously, this screenshot was from the other day, so it's beautiful. But in the wintertime, it's a super value for the community to make sure you're going to be able to travel safely. It's not a live camera. It updates every 5 minutes, but it is a good resource in the wintertime. It's accessible on the Ingonish website, Ingonish Experience Ingonish website. We are also working on a signage project. You're going to see new signs go up at the entrance of Ingonish on both ends. They are going to be temporary signs, but we felt like it was an important initiative for us to revitalize the sign that is existing coming in from Smoky, and the one on the other end has actually been down for quite some time. So we've invested a little bit of money. We're just going with our logo that was already designed to keep it very affordable for the next couple of years. The reason why this is temporary is because the county is already launching a signage initiative, and we're going to make sure that we're engaged and aligned with that. And they'll also be doing community engagement so that there's input on what our community sign looks like, and we'll have a more solid, established sign in the future. But for now, we're spending some money this year to get this up, and hopefully in the next couple of weeks you'll see a brand new sign in both locations. And another fun and exciting update is that swimming lessons are coming back to Freshwater Lake, not Freshwater Cove. And thank you to Caitlin, who is spearheading this, and she's handling registration. Information about this will be on the website or on our Facebook page, but yeah, registration is with Caitlin. So she's here tonight. You can ask her more questions. There'll be a couple sessions from July 14th to August 8th that will run this summer. And I think you can be as young as 3 years old. So really encouraging to get everybody out to that. And I'm going to hand it off to Chelsea, who's going to update us on social media, marketing, and how you guys can stay connected.
Hi everybody, I'm Chelsea McLean. I have a little bit of a cold. So these are just our summer, I guess the rest of the season. Our goals are increased transparency, awareness, accessibility, and attendance. We just want everybody to know what's going on in our community. There are so many things happening, but nobody seems to know what they are. So we started last year with the Ingonish Connected newsletter, which I will get to. So for increased transparency, we have created a year at a glance calendar, which we will be putting out. This will be updated with every IDS event that comes out. And we're also going to do an IDS monthly update, which is all of the projects that the board is currently working on, has been working on, just kind of updates to give everybody an idea of upcoming projects. Awareness, what's happening in Ingonish will be back for another season. That's going to start around July 1st, maybe a bit earlier. You literally just opt in, and then you get an email every week reminding you to send in your hours. You can send them in once for the whole season if your hours don't change. And then we publish this every Thursday, and it runs from Thursday to Wednesdays every week. And it just gives people a good starting point for things to do, where to stay, what to eat, and when things are open. Accessibility. So we have been featuring the post, using that as a feature post, so that as soon as people go to the Facebook page, that's the first thing that they see, is what they can do this week in Ingonish. And then we tag everybody's business, so that when somebody goes and they say, oh, I want to eat here, but do they have a gluten-free option? They can click on the business and go and see their window. And then attendance, we are now doing save the dates, event details, and then a reminder to try to get as many people out to these events as possible. Tonight we have a great turnout, and we're hoping to continue that for the rest of the season. And then really, go ahead.
Ken Burke, sorry I was a little late tonight, so maybe I missed my spot. But I just wanted to tell you a little about our North Highlands Community Museum in Cape North. A lot of you know about it already. We're right on the corner of the Bay St. Lawrence Road, next to Morrison's restaurant. So just a little history. Our museum's been in existence since 1960. 1979. The inspiration was Ruth Morrison and her husband Elster, who had for many years been collecting artifacts and documents and pictures that people had been throwing out. She had the foresight to see that these would be valuable someday, so, and she was correct. Our first museum was in effect Morrison's restaurant, because a lot of things were on display there. But in 1979, with funding, they built a small museum in the style of a settler's cottage. This served as the museum for 20 years. Very, very attractive, warm, cozy building, but not winterized, not good for document or artifact preservation. So in 2002, a new climate-controlled building was built, our current museum, and that's been our museum since. In 2007, the Cape North United Church closed, and we acquired that building. That's now our culture center, where we host events and we have rental space as well. Around the same time, we also, maybe a couple years later, we acquired a historic forge, the McIsaac Forge, which now is on museum property next door. This is still a functioning forge, and it's part of our programming each summer. So, like other groups, we had kind of a lull during COVID. We were closed for a year, and then we were 2 years of less than our normal programming. But the last 2 summers, we've been building and building. We have a very energetic manager, Wanda Hennick, who's also our municipal councillor, and Wanda's a great go-getter as far as organizing events, fundraising. We were very lucky this year. We applied for 5 students. We got 4. That's more than we normally would get. We're very excited about that. There'll be lots for them to do. Just give you a little summary of what we have on for the summer. Our museum's open already. We've opened 2 weeks earlier than we have other years, and there's been traffic. We have a little gift shop that's showing good sales, sales up from other years, and early visitation is good. Next year we may try to open even earlier into May. The public washrooms are in our building. We partner with the municipality, with Victoria County, to open the washrooms. I think it was about 4 years ago. These are very welcome with visitors passing, and it does bring some extra traffic into our museum, and we're glad for that. We have this year we'll be having a Canada Day open house. In past years it included a barbecue, but there are going to be other events on in the community, so we're going to scale back on that. We'll still have an open house, maybe some Canada Day cake and some refreshments. Our forge will be up and running. Our 4 students will all take forge training. John McDonald is a master blacksmith. He has English roots, and we've been very lucky. He lives in Big Quebec. He comes down each year. So the students will all learn how to basic metalwork and how to operate a forge, fire safety, and that's a popular part of our summer program. Won't be open every day, but it'll be open many days, and we'll have a forge open house in probably in early July. We have a series of concerts and historical presentations. Ken Dunban's on the roster, along with we have a young man who's going to be talking about Highland clearances and its relevance to our local history. We'll be having Terry Dwyer, who's an expert on exploring shipwrecks, will be doing a presentation as well. Series of concerts. We're focusing on more local talent this year. We want to do, plans are still in progress, but we want to do perhaps have an open house day honoring the veterans in the area. 80 years since World War II ended, and we want to commemorate that in an event this summer. We remain open till the middle of October. We have an open house in conjunction with very grateful to the county for their support of our ongoing activities and for their support of our washroom, of course, too. So anyway, if you haven't visited our museum, come down and have a look and tell people about us. We're kind of by default, we're a bit of a tourist information bureau too. A lot of people drop in finding out what's what or where other businesses are, so we're glad. And of course, we're like everybody else, we're looking for people. If you have an interest in history, there are lots of things, lots of ways you can help us out. So that's and then during the winter we have rental space for one of our main renters is Clans. Literacy programs and education, and that's we just provided the space, but they rented and run the program. Quilters is a quilting program through the winter months, and other community groups use our space, and private functions, birthday parties, and other events. It's available if your group is looking to hold a meeting. Municipality uses our facility a lot for meetings done this way. So that's all I wanted to say, and we're happy to see you at the museum.
So thank you so much for coming out. There's been a lot of really exciting stuff shared that's going on in the community now and in the future. Positivity, and again, things to be excited for. Thank you so much for everyone to come out and show your support tonight. And thank you so much to all the presenters for taking the time to be here and share all the great things that we have going on in the community. Quick reminder that this has been recorded and will be going out on our social media. You can find it on the Ingonish Connected Facebook page in the near future. And I encourage you to share it to others in the community, spread the positive word of all the good stuff that's happening now and in the future. And again, if you have any questions, now is going to be the time to approach any of the presenters and ask away. So thanks so much for coming out, everyone. Hope to see you again next year for our events in the future, and thanks again.